wabarakatuh.
Okay, presenters, are you ready? Let's start.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you guys feeling today? Hopefully, all of you are really feeling great because today is weekend. But we're going to start our first lesson with Dr. Feni. But before that, first of all, we would like to thank our lecturer, Dr. Feni Eka Meidasari, for giving us this opportunity. And thank you also to everyone for joining on our presentation today. We are excited to share our presentation about CBI or content-based instruction. Okay, well, before we begin, let me introduce our team first. The first one, my name is Putriandini, and I will be the moderator for today's presentation. Joining me are Miss Astri Permatasari, and then Mr. Haris, and the last one is actually Liga Valiansyah. Okay, well, without further ado, I think let's just start it. Okay, can you guys see my screen clearly? Just in case.
Clear.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. Thank you
very
so
Clear.
clear.
much for responding. Okay, the first materials, it will be delivered by me. Okay, it's about the introduction to CBI. There are some key principles first. Well, according to Larson and Freeman and Anderson 2013, CBI is an approach in which language is thought from using the use of subject matter of the content, meaning that students learn the target language itself, and language is not the final goal, but a rather tool for learning the content. There are some key principles of CBI, as you guys can see that. The first one is about language is a vehicle for learning content, which is students use language to understand subject matter. And then the second is about content determines the syllabus. It means lessons are organized around the topics, not even the grammar points itself. The third is about integration of skills, which is the four skills that we have in English, which is they are naturally combined together. And then the fourth is about the use of authentic materials, which is real world text such as articles, videos, posters are preferred just like that. And then the last but not least is about student-centered learning, which is learners actively engage with content through the discussion and the task. And then the next is about the benefits for the learner itself. There are four things here. The first one is about meaningful learning, which is students learn language in context. And then the second is about increase the motivation itself, which is interesting topics makes learning engaging. The third, improve language proficiency, vocabulary and structures are learned naturally together. The last but not least is about development of cognitive skills. Students analyze and think critically. So based on Larson Freeman and Anderson as well, emphasize that learning becomes more effective when language is connected to meaningful use. And then the next is about the differences between CBI and traditional language teaching or TLT. As you guys can see that, we can see a very differences between both of them. We're moving on into the first one, into the CBI first. It's more focused on content and then the language itself. Well, in traditional method, language is often treated as an object of study, while in CBI, it is treated as a means of communication of learning. Well, into the CBI, it's more into focus, teaching approach, and then the learning outcome itself. But into the CBI emphasizes both content and language learning, which is students learning the language while studying meaningful topics such as technology or social issues. In contrast, traditional language teaching focus mainly on grammar rules and vocabulary. And then the second, well, regarding the communication itself, CBI promotes meaningful communication where students use the language to express the ideas, discuss topic, and solve the problems. On the other hand, traditional approaches often rely on memorization and drills, which may not always help students use the language in real situation. The third, in terms of classroom roles, CBI is student-centered, encouraging active participation, collaboration, and discussion. Meanwhile, traditional teaching is more teacher-centered, as we can see that where the teacher controls most of the learning process and students play a more passive role. For the material used in CBI are usually authentic and real-world based, such as articles, videos, or digital content like I've mentioned previously. In a contrast, into the traditional one, it depends on the textbooks and structure exercises. Finally, the last but not least, CBI integrates all language skills. Like we know that already, listening, speaking, reading, and writing in a natural way, while the traditional one tends to teach these skills separately, so it's not together into one content. And then we're going to integrating CBI with the digital literacy, which is ICT, how ICT content becomes the medium for language learning. Well, in a CBI, digital literacy topics within ICT are used as the main content through which students learn English. Instead of learning the language in isolation, students engage with meaningful and relevant topics related to the technology, which allows them to develop both language skills and digital knowledge simultaneously. In this context, language functions as a tool for understanding and communicating ideas about ICT. For example, students read about online safety, which is to develop reading comprehension and vocabulary. Second, discuss social media to practice speaking and expressing opinions. Third, write about technology use to improve writing skill. The last but not least, students watch videos about digital tools to practice listening skill. There's an example of CBI in digital literacy. Those are three of them that I've mentioned already. The first one is about social media. Students can discuss its impact, practice giving opinions, cybersecurity, learn vocabulary like privacy, data protection, read short texts, and expand them together. The last is about online learning tools. Students explain how to use applications such as how to use Zoom, how to use Google Docs, how to use presentation one, and then practical procedural language such as first, then, and then next. Okay, and the next, we're still going to talk about integrating CBI with digital literacy, but focus on both language skills and content knowledge. CBI of language learning and subject matter knowledge, allowing students to develop both of them together in the context of ICT. This means that learners improve their English proficiency while also gaining essential knowledge and skill related to the technology. The first one is about the language skill. There are four skills that we know already. Into the speaking one, the students can discussions about ICT issues such as the impact of social media or online safety, which helps them express opinions and build fluency. And then the second is about reading. Learners read digital text such as online articles, blogs, or infographic, enhancing their comprehension vocabulary. Third, writing skills. The students can produce written text like emails, reports, or social media posts, allowing them to practice organizing ideas and using appropriate language. The last is about listening. The student can use the listening section, such as through videos, podcasts, or tutorials about technology, so the students improve their ability to understand spoken English in real life context. And then the next is about content knowledge, which is on the ICT one. The first one, understanding digital tools, learning how to use platforms like online communication skills or learning application. The second is about evaluating online information, so the students can developing critical thinking skills to distinguish reliable information from misinformation. The third, but not least, developing digital communication skills, learning how to communicate effectively and appropriately in online environment. So this dual focus helps students become not only better into the language users but also competent digital citizen. According to Freeman and Martin Anderson as well, language learning becomes more effective and meaningful when students simultaneously develop knowledge in another field, as it encourages deeper understanding and real-world application together. And then I think that will be all from me because the next material it will be delivered with the next presenter, Mr. Haris.
Yes, miss. All right. Okay, first I want to say thank you for the presenter and Claudia, my partner in this group. Okay, everyone. I'm going to talk about sample topics for CBI lessons or ICT visit. Okay, talking about online safety, it means protecting yourself. Online safety is about security. It focuses on the specific tools and habits you need to prevent being harmed by predators, hackers, or malicious software. And then in here, there are some core concepts. The first, privacy. It means knowing which personal details, like your home address or certain locations, should never be shared. The second is security. It means using strong passwords and recognizing phishing emails or fake websites, and then safe browsing. It means avoiding suspicious links and understanding the risk of public Wi-Fi. And then digital citizenship. It means like engaging with others. Okay, digital citizenship is about responsibility. It means it focuses on the ethical and social ways you interact with the world to be helpful and productive member of the internet community. And here there are some core concepts. The first, digital footprint. Digital footprint, guys, it means understanding that everything you post online creates havoc if you career or reputation. And the next, dedicate with kindness and respect. Avoiding cyberbullying or trolling. And the last core concept of digital citizens is media literacy. It means being able to tell the difference between real news and fake news. Okay, the next slide. Okay, guys, now we are going to talk about social media and its impact. It consists of it here is three of consists. First about positive impact, then negative impacts, and the social and the behavioral impact. Okay, the first talking about positive impact, the benefits. The first about global connectivity, staying in touch with family and friends across the world, and finding communities with shared interests like hobbies or support group. And the next positive impact is information learning. It means instant access to news, educational connect, educational content, and tutorials that facilitate self-improvement. But the last positive impact in this session is self-expression. It means a creative outlet for sharing art, music, or opinions and raising awareness for important social cases. Okay, now we're talking about negative impacts or the risks. The first is going to mental health issues. The highlight reel effect where users compare their real life to others' editing photos, leading on anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. The second is fear of missing out, or FOMO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. It means the constant urge to check apps, to check application, to avoid being left out of social events or trends, which can lead to the last negative impact is about privacy and security. It means the danger of oversharing, which can lead to identity theft, stalking, or your data being sold to advertiser. And the last part about social and behavioral impact. It consists of three. The first about digital footprint. Every like, comment, and post creates a permanent record that future employers or university may check. The second is about echo chambers. It's mean like algorithms. Algorithms show you only what you already like, which can limit your perspective and make it harder to understand different viewpoints. And the last, cyberbullying. It means the anonymity of the internet can sometimes encourage people to say hurtful things they wouldn't say in person. Okay, the next slide. Okay, guys, about artificial intelligence basic or AI. Talking about AI or artificial intelligence is so familiar nowadays. Okay, now we are going talking about how does AI work. Okay, the first input date. AI needs massive amounts of information like text, image, or numbers to learn. And the second AI work is processing or algorithm. The AI use math and patterns to find meaning in the data. And the last output, its mean result. The AI makes a predictions, creates a response, or performs an action. The second is talking about types of AI used daily. The first, generative AI. Tools that can create new text, image, or code. Examples, yes, so familiar right nowadays like ChatGPT and Gemini. And the second is recommendation systems. These systems determine which videos a user might want to watch next, like on YouTube, Netflix, or TikTok. Then, computer vision. This technology allows a phone to unlock using Face ID and enables self-driving cars to perceive the road. And the last type of AI used daily is about natural language processing or NLP. It means voice assistants such as Siri or Alexa use NLP to understand spoken language. And then talking about AI and digital systems. Bias. The first bias. It means if the data used to train AI is unfair, the AI's result will be unfair as well. Then deep fakes and misinformation. AI can create realistic but fake videos and news, so verifying information is important. The last, automation. AI will change the future of work by becoming a tool that humans must learn to use. Okay, the next slide. Yes, okay, now we're talking about digital communication tools. Okay, what are digital communication tools? These are software application or platform that allow people to exchange information, ideas, and message through the internet. They can be divided into main categories: synchronous, real-time, and asynchronous delighted. Okay, common types of tools. Diverse email is so familiar nowadays. Example like Gmail, Outlook, usage best for school assignments, job application, or formal inquiries. The next is instant messaging. It's personal. It's more personal and quick. Example, WhatsApp, Telegram message. Usage best for quick chats with friends or family and urgent updates. And the third, video conferencing. It's mean face-to-face. Examples like we use today is Zoom, the Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams. Usage best for virtual class, remote meetings, or long-distance interviews. The fourth or the last about digital communication tools is about social media platforms like broad audience. Example like Instagram, X Twitter, LinkedIn is used best for sharing updates with a large group of professional networking. Okay, the next slide. Okay, now we're going talking about evaluations, online information. Evaluation online informations. The internet allows anyone to publish anything because there is no editor for the entire web. We must be our own fact checker to avoid being misled by misinformation. False info spread by mistake or disinformation. False info spread on purpose. The first about the SIF method. The symbol is it means it's to evaluate any search quickly. Yeah, student can use or anyone can use SIF, yeah, to evaluate any search quickly. And the second is red flags. It means warning signs. Teach students to look for these signs that information might be unreliable. And the last, fact-checking tools. It simple means like introduce students to websites that do the hard work for them. Okay, and the last slide. Sorry, the next slide. Okay. Okay, everyone. Now we're going to talking about teaching materials and resources. Okay, the first about curriculum and lesson plans. And then second is fact checking and media influence goals, and last teaching strategies. Okay, the best curriculum and lesson plans. It's mean common sense education, the gold standard for digital citizens. They offer a comprehensive K-12 curriculum with videos, ready-made slides, and students' handouts. There's a topic, Google, Metri, and Sand. Google, the internet, once I heavily enjoyed a program that used a game called Interland to teach kids the fundamentals of digital safety. The second is fact-checking and media literacy tools. The first, the news literacy project at Chaklogi. It's mean an interactive browser-based platform that teach students how to distinguish between news, opinion, and brand content. And the second is civics online reasoning. Our short research-based assessment and lesson and how to judge and credibility of information on social media. The last is teaching mechanic or Google, a web-based tool that lets students create their own simple machine learning models like using a camera or microphone without any coding. And the last, teaching strategies. It's consists of three. The first is think pressure. It means give students a digital dilemma. Example, a friend posts an embracing thought of you without asking, and have them discuss the best response. The second is Socratic seminars. Host a classroom debate on ethical questions such as should AI be allowed to write school essays? And last, gamification. It means like use Kahoot or quizzes to run digital citizenship trivia sessions to check understanding in a fun, competitive way. Okay, everyone, I think that's all for me for my presentation. Thank you so much. Go back to
Okay.
present. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Haris. And then the next presenter, it will be delivered by Miss Astri. Okay, time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Putri. Okay, the next slide, classroom activities or CBI approach. Discussion, the first discussion and debate. Topic example, is social media harmful? The objective, the first students express opinions using English. The second, develop critical thinking about social media. The activity states the first teacher introduces topic, pro and cons of social media. The second, students are divided into pro and contra groups. The third, each group prepares arguments. The fourth, conduct a simple debate. And the last reflection, students share what they learn. Language focus. The first giving opinions, for example, I think, in my opinion, and etc. The second, agreeing or disagreeing. For example, I agree, I don't agree, and etc. The next slide, please. Okay, the next classroom activities is project-based learning. The text, for example, create a digital campaign or poster. The objective, the first students create meaningful content in English. The second, apply creativity and collaboration. Activity steps, the first choose topic, for example, stop cyberbullying. The second, students work in groups. The third, design a poster using apps, for example, Canva, PixArt, and etc. The fourth, write slogans in English, and the last, present the result. Language focus. The first persuasive sentences, for example, don't bully others. And the second, short messages and slogans. The next slide, please. Okay, the next classroom activities is problem-solving tasks. For example, the task, identify fake news. The objective, the first, develop critical reading skills. The second, understand real or fake information. The activity steps, teacher solves several news examples. The second, students analyze real or fake. The third, discuss reasons by source, headline, facts, and the last, group presentation of answers. The language focus, the first asking questions, for example, is this true? Where is the source? And the last, giving reasons. For example, because it is not reliable, and etc. The next slide, Miss. Okay, the next activities is role play. For example, scenario, online communication situations. The objective, practice real life communication. And the second, improve speaking fluency. The activity states, the first teachers give scenarios, for example, chatting with a friend and responding to online comments. The second, students practice in pairs, and the last, perform in front of class. The language focus, polite expression, for example, can you help me? And responses as, for example, sure, no problem. The next, Miss. The next is classroom activities is presentation task. For example, task is explain an ICT topic. The objective, the first, build confidence in speaking. The second, practice structured explanation. Activity steps, the first, students choose topic. For example, internet safety, social media, or digital tools. The second, prepare short presentation. And 3 until 5 minutes. The third, present using slides or poster. And the last, Q&A session. Language focus is opening. For example, today I will explain about, and the closing, thank you for listening. Okay, the next, Miss. Okay, the next material is language focus in CBI. This is the first vocabulary related to ICT. Okay, for example, the word privacy is meaning privacy. For example, sentence, we must protect our privacy online. Second, the word is data, meaning data. For example, the apps collects user data. The word algorithm, the meaning algorithma. For example, the algorithm shows recommended videos. The next, the word device, the meaning is perangkat. For example, my device is very fast. And the last word, the internet, the meaning internet. For example, sentence, the internet helps us learn many things. Okay, then the next, Miss. Okay. Language focus in CBI is functional language. The first is giving opinions, yaitu memberikan pendapat. The expression is I think, in my opinion, I believe, from my opinion of view. For example, I think social media is useful. In my opinion, technology helps students learn and etc. The second is agreeing and disagreeing. The first agreeing, for example, agree. I agree. That's true. I think so too, and etc. And disagreeing, for example, I disagree. I don't think so. I don't agree. I'm not sure about that. And explaining processes. The expression first, then next, after that, finally. For example, this is first open the application, then enter your password, next click the login button, and finally you can access your account and etc. Okay, the next miss. Okay, the last language focus in CBI in grammar in context is passive voice. The pattern is subject plus to be or is MR plus verb 3. For example, this is active. The system stores data. This is passive. Data is stored by the system. Okay. Okay, that's all. The next.
Okay, Liga, time is yours. Thank you so much, Miss Astri.
Okay, thank you, Miss Astri and Miss Putri. In this section, we focus on assessment strategies in English language learning at school. Assessment is not only used to measure students' understanding of the lesson materials, but also to evaluate how well they can use English actively and communicatively. In this way, teachers can assess students more comprehensively, both in terms of knowledge and language skills. One of common form of assessment in CBI context is presentation activities. For an example, explain a topic using English slides. Through presentations, students are encouraged to express their ideas, opinions, or discussions. From this activity, teachers can evaluate students' speaking abilities, including pronunciation, fluency, and vocabulary use and confidence. For an example, students may give a short of presentation about environmental issues, Indonesian culture, or healthy lifestyles in front of the class using simple English. And the second, digital projects are engaging and creative assessment strategy. Students can create a short videos, digital posters, podcasts. These activities help students improve their language skills while also developing their digital literacy and creativity. For instance, students may create a video about their daily school activities and conduct simple interviews with classmates or making procedure text about tutorial cooking. Through these projects, teachers can assess students' writing skills, speaking skills, creativity, and teamwork. And the third is reflection writing. Written reflection is also an important part of assessment. Through reflective writing, students describe their learning experiences, challenges, and new knowledge gained during the learning process. This activity helps teachers understand students and comprehension more personally and deeply. For example, after a classroom discussion or watching an educational video, Students may write a short paragraph about what they learned today or what I learned today with the new vocabulary they discovered in English. And the last is quizzes. Quizzes are used to measure students' understanding more objectively. Quizzes can be conducted in written form or through digital learning platforms. Through quizzes, teachers can evaluate how well students understand the lesson content and language features that they have been taught. For example, students may complete quizzes on grammar, vocabulary, reading comprehension, or listening skills after finishing a learning unit. By applying these various of assessment strategies, English learning becomes more active, creative, and meaningful. Next slide, Miss. Okay, the next is the challenges. However, in its implementation, there are several challenges that teachers and students may face in English learning at school. The first is students have different levels of digital skills. Some of them are already familiar with technology and can easily use digital tools, while others still struggle with basic applications or online learning platforms. This difference can affect classroom activities, especially when teachers assign digital projects or technology-based tasks. For example, during a project where students are asked to create an English presentations video, some of students may able to edit the videos confidently and maybe add some subtitles or effects, while other students may have difficulty on how they will upload their work. As a result, students with lower digital skills may focus more on technical problems than on practicing their English ability. The second is students often pay too much attention to the content of the material rather than the language itself. They may focus on completing the task or delivering information correctly, but they do not pay enough attention to grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, or sentence structures. This can slow down the development of their English skills. For instance, in a group presentation about environmental issues, students may prepare excellent information and attractive slides, but they might maybe use incorrect grammar from the slides instead of speaking naturally in English. In this case, the content is strong, but the language practice is limited. Next slide, Miss. Okay, the solutions to overcome these challenges, there are several solutions that teachers can apply in English learning at school. The first solution is scaffolding. Scaffolding means we as a teacher providing step-by-step support to help students complete tasks more confidently and effectively. Teachers can give sentence example, vocabulary list, or presentation templates to guide students in using English correctly. This support is especially important for students who are still developing their language skills or digital abilities. For example, the teachers ask students to make a presentation about their favorite hobby, The teacher may provide useful sentence starters such as my hobby is blah 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 and usually do it because blah blah blah, or the benefits of my hobbies are blah blah blah. With this guidance or scaffolding, students can focus more on practicing English instead of feeling confused about how to start their presentation. The second solution is setting clear language objectives. Teachers need to explain specifically what language skills students should achieve during the lessons. In this way, students understand that learning English is not only understand the topic but also improving communication skills. And the third solution is guided activities. Providing guided activities help students stay focused and reduce confusion, especially when use technology and English at the same time. Teachers can divide tasks into smaller steps and monitor students throughout the learning process. For example, when students are asked to create a short video about school activities, the teachers can first guide them to write a simple script, practice pronunciation in pairs, and record the video step by step, and finally edit it using a basic application. This process helps students feel more confident and organized. By applying these three solutions, scaffolding, clear language objectives, and guided activities, English learning becomes more effective and balanced between content-based instructions and language development. Students not only understand the lesson material better, but they also gain more confidence in using English in real communication situations at school. Next slide, Miss. Okay, the last is conclusion. In conclusion, CBI content-based instructions effectively combines language learning with meaningful content, especially through digital literacy and ICT. Despite some challenges, CBI promotes active, relevant, and student-centered learning. It's the last slide. I will give it back to the moderator, Miss Putri. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Liga. All right, the next one we're going to moving on into the Q&A, but yeah, even though our time is very limited, but we're going really fast now. Okay, the first question, I think they will be answered with Miss Astri. Okay, can you please?
Okay, the first question from Mr. Arif Purnama. The question is, if you were conducting research on CBI and ICT integration, what variables would you investigate and why? The answer is, possible variables include students' motivation, vocabulary acquisition, communicative competence, digital literacy, and critical thinking skills. These variables are important because they reflect both linguistic and cognitive outcomes of CBI implementation. Okay, the next, Miss.
Okay, the next question they will be answered by Mr. Haris. Okay, please go ahead, Mr. Haris.
Yes, thank you. Okay, the question about the relationship between a digital footprint and future employment is direct and significant. In today's job market, your online presence acts as a secondary zone that employers check before making a hiring decision. The first, actually, there are three case areas. The first, the pre-interview screening. Most recruiters and HR managers perform a social media background check on candidates. The impact if your digital footprint show unprofessional behavior like illegal activities, offensive language, or bad mouthing previous employers, you may be disqualified before you even get an interview. The second is reputation and branding. Your digital footprint isn't just about avoiding bad posts, it's about building a positive professional brand. And the last, permanence and searchability. The internet never forgets. Even if you delete a post, it may have been archived or screenshot. I think that's all for the question number 2. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Haris. And then the next question by Mr. Tuhu. How does CBI differ from the language teaching traditional one, but in terms of LO or learning objectives and classroom practices? CBI differs from traditional teaching because it combines language learning with content learning, while traditional one teaching mainly focuses on grammar and vocabulary. And then the next question that was actually coming from Miss Sophie: why is the integration of digital literacy important in CBI? Because it helps students improve language, technology, and critical thinking skills through real life and meaningful activities. And then the next question that will be delivered by Mr. Liga, that will be answered.
Okay, the questions is how does CBI differ from traditional language teaching in terms of learning objectives and classroom practices? The answer is CBI content-based instruction differ from traditional language teaching because it emphasizes both language acquisition and content learning. In CBI, language is used as a medium for understanding meaningful topics, while traditional approach mainly focus on grammar, rules, and vocabulary memorization. And furthermore, CBI promotes student-centered learning, authentic materials, meaningful communication, and integrated language skills, where traditional teaching tends to be teacher-centered, textbook-focused, and based on separate skill, practice, and drills. Maybe that's it, Miss.
Okay, thank you so much, Liga. Okay, and I think that will be all for our presentation. And then the next one, we're going to moving on into the demo teaching or the micro teaching. The first one that will be delivered by Miss Astri. Okay, please go ahead. You may do the share screen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Ya, Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good morning, students. Today we are going to learn English vocabulary about synonyms and antonyms using a fun game from Educaplay. Before we start, who is ready to play and learn together?
I'm ready.
Okay, excellent. Okay, first, let me explain. The synonym means words that have similar meaning, and the antonym means words that have opposite meanings. Now, we will open the Educaplay activity. Okay, please read the question carefully and choose the correct answer. Okay, while playing, don't be afraid to make mistakes because mistakes help us learn. Let's try our best and have fun together. Okay, let's start the game. Okay, please, number one, Putri Andini, please the answer.
Should I pick it? Antonym of innovative, creative. C.
Creative. Okay. No. The second, number two, please, Liga of Valencia. The answer is Liga.
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Maybe A.
Antonym of safe.
Oh, antonym. Antonym.
Okay. This
Sorry.
is, next synonym of create. Liga.
A, Miss. Make.
Make.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Excellent job. Next, Harris. Synonym of upload.
About
The answer is
upload, make,
make.
maybe,
Oh
uh,
no. Okay,
false.
the next question is Rahmati.
We miss mistake.
Mistake. Okay, good job. The next question is Arif. Arif Purnama.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The answer is synonym of data.
Information.
Information. Okay, good job. The next question is Tuhu.
Download. Synonym of download
Tuhu.
is get.
Get.
Get. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, the next is Sophie. Sophie.
Offline.
Offline. Okay, good job. The next question is Uni. Uni Handayani. Okay. Okay, the next is
May I try? The answer
okay,
is safe, unsafe, unsafe.
unsafe.
Safe.
Okay, good job. And the last question is Putri Ngawirabaya.
Yes, miss.
Okay, the answer is
Slow. A.
slow. Okay, good job.
Okay.
Excellent job, everyone. Thank you for participating actively in today's lesson. Today, we learn about synonym and antonyms through the Educa Play game. I am very proud of all of you because you were brave, active, and enthusiastic. Keep practicing your vocabulary at home so your English will become better every day. Do you enjoy today's activity?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, very much.
Okay, thank you for your attention and participation. See you in the next lesson. Have a great day, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Miss Astri, and then the next one it will be Mr. Haris. Oh, wait a second, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, you may start.
Right. Okay, good morning, class. How are you feeling today?
We're
Okay,
feeling
hope
good.
be good. Yeah. All right. Well, today, before we are going to quiz or exercise, I want to read text. Please listen to me carefully. Okay, the text about history Indonesian's independence. Okay, on August 1945, Indonesia declared its independence. The event took place at Street Pegangan San Timur number 56 Jakarta. Soekarno read the proclamation text and Dr. Randus Muhammad Hatta stood beside him. Earlier in the morning, Fatmawati saw the first Indonesian flag, the Sang Merah Putih. This short ceremony changed Indonesian history forever. We were finally a free nation. Okay, class, this is the short text. Okay, I hope you can understand about the text because, all right, now we are going to the quiz. Okay, are you ready, class? All right. Number one, Muhammad Hatta read the proclamation text alone.
False.
This is okay, Mr. Arif false. Okay, come on, we check. All right, excellent. Good job, Mr. Arif. Okay, the next, number two, Fatmawati said Indonesian flag. False or true?
True.
True.
Okay, wow, excellent. Thank you. Okay, the next. Okay, fill in the blanks, right? The first Indonesian flag was sailed by blah blah blah. Who is he? Who is he? Who-
Ibu Fatmawati.
Fatmawati.
Okay, check. Let's check. What is this? Yeah, Ibu, Mrs. Fatmawati. Mrs. Fatmawati. All right. Okay, the fourth, the still fill in the blank. The color of the Indonesian flag is blah 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 and
Red
blah blah
and
blah.
white.
Red
Red
and
and
white.
white. And white.
Red and white. Okay, let's check. Good job. Wow. Come on, guys. Still one. The last number. This is still right. Indonesia.
True.
True.
Wow, so quick your answer. Okay, thank you so much. Class, I hope you be fun and join this class. Okay, and then we are going to continue for the next time. Thank you so much and bye bye. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Haris. And then the next, the one who's actually doing the micro teaching is me. All right, wait a second. Okay, well, hello everyone. Today I will do a short micro teaching session for A2 until B1 level students, and our topic today is about daily habits and health. In this lesson, we will learn English through live content. This is called CBI, content-based instruction. Okay, before that, I'm going to warming up first. Okay, what do you usually do every day? Okay, Miss Astri. Okay, are you there? What do you usually do every day?
Okay. I wake up early.
Okay, good job. Well done. Next, Miss Emma, what do you usually do every day?
I read a book every day.
Good job. And then the last one, Miss Hasana, what do you usually do every day? Still the same question.
Okay, I always have breakfast.
Okay, good job. Well done. Here is it. Well, as you guys can see that, there are some posters that mention about healthy daily habits from a usual one, the general one, and then for the adults one as well. As you guys can see that, based on that one, I'm sure that you've got like at least 1 until 3 healthy habits. Okay, before that, there is it. Okay, we're moving on into the next application, this one, into the Padlet one. So this is supposed to be like the pre-memory one because it's going to take a lot of time if you're supposed to upload your answers here. There is it. And then how can you post the answers on the Padlet? The first one, you may click post and then you can just mention like this and then you can just submit it. Okay, this application, this website is actually a good one for you to see about the main time, the real main time. This is a good one for writing section and also the reading section. Okay, now we're going to moving on into practice speaking. Okay, I want you to please choose one of your answers, say it, and add one more sentence to explain your reasons. Okay, for example, I want to sleep early because it's good for my health, for example. And then we're moving on into the first students. The first student, student A, which is Miss Astri. Okay, can you please choose one of your answer, say it, and then add one more sentence to explain your reasons, please?
Okay, I want to sleep earlier because it is good for my health and helps me feel more energetic in the morning.
Okay, good job. Well done. And then the next one, Miss Emma, still the same question.
I want to eat more fruit and vegetables because they are healthy and can improve my body.
Okay, good job. And then the last one, Miss Hasana, please.
Okay, I want to reduce screen time at night because it can help me sleep better and rest well.
Yes, okay, good job. Well done. And then I think that will be all here. Well, today we talk about daily habits and then how that you've shared your ideas through the Padlet one and then practice the speaking section. I hope we can practice more, but I think our time is very limited. And then this is how we use English in real life, not only grammar sections, but also reading, writing, and also speaking section. Okay, I think that will be all from me. I think that's all from me. Thank you for attention. Bye bye, see you later. And then, okay, I think that will be all. And then the next one, it will be delivered by Mr. Liga. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Astri. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, students. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, so today we are going to learn about narrative text. Have you ever heard the stories about Malin Kundang, Cinderella, or Snow White?
Yes.
Anyone? Yes. Uh, it's called narrative text. When we read the text, we get the moral value while reading the text. So today we are going to learn narrative text through listening in website at puzzle.com. So the video will start and the video will pause and the questions will getting asked. Are you ready, students?
Yes, we're ready.
Yes.
Okay, I will start the video. Please listen it carefully because in the middle of video it will comes a questions.
The Wind and the Sun. A version of the tale by the
Wait, I will rewatch it. Hmm, I think I have problem with. Okay, let's start again. Okay, the questions, what are the two main characters in the story? A, the rain and the sun. B, the wind and the sun. C, the moon and the star. Or D, the wind and the rain. Which one? The correct answer.
It's B.
The answer is B.
B, the wind and the sun. Let's check it. Okay, it's correct answer.
Sorry, Mr. Riga, I can hear your what? I can hear the sound from the video.
Sorry, miss?
I can hear the sound from the video.
We can't hear the voice of videos.
Yeah.
There is no voice.
Okay, the next questions. What do the wind and the sun argue about? A, who is stronger? B, who is warmer? Or C, who is more powerful? Or D, who can blow harder? Which one is the correct answer, everyone? Anyone? What the wind and the sun argue about?
I doubt maybe A, who is the stronger, because there is no voice or videos, Mr. Riga.
There is
Sorry,
no.
Mr. Riga. I think
Okay.
some trouble in your videos because we can hear your
Oh,
Oke,
audios.
sorry.
2 menit lagi ya habis
Sorry.
ini karena waktunya saya juga untuk beri feedback.
It's okay, Mr. Riga.
Maybe the answer is
It's
C
A.
or
It's
A.
A.
Who is
You
more
cannot answer if you don't hear it clearly, of course.
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Just try C, okay? Okay, it's correct. The answer
Just
is
then,
C.
they
Okay, due to of sound problem, maybe that's it for my micro teaching through app puzzle. Overall, the app puzzles provides a video and they will pause a video in the middle and the questions will come up. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yes, ma'am. I think that will be all from our group.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, presenters. So our topic is about CBI, content-based instruction. This is an approach that argues students learn language through meaningful subject or through meaningful content. So, in other words, language is not taught separately as a grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. So, instead, our students learn English while studying certain topics. So, this is called killing two birds with one stone. Jadi, belajarnya itu membunuh mendapatkan dua target dengan satu usaha. So our students can develop content knowledge and also can develop language skills at the same time. Jadi ini yang diharapkan jadinya gitu. So karena ini berdasarkan konten, so our students understand the content and our students can improve their English ability at the same time. So this is what makes CBI is different from others. CBI sendiri Bapak Ibu ada two types, content driven program dan language driven program. Content driven program ini, the content is the main focus. the language supports the learning of the content. Jadi tujuan utamanya adalah ingin menguasai keahlian tertentu dalam konten itu. Bahasa Inggrisnya supports untuk bisa menguasai konten tersebut. For example, misalnya tadi ini kita ngomong yang secara ininya aja, misalnya Bapak Ibu belajar tentang CLT. Ini umpamakan Bapak Ibu masih S1 ya. Kalau belajar TOEFL, CLT, Communicative Language Teaching. Jadi ingin mengajarkan apa sih CLT itu? So, nanti akan diajarkan tentang CLT itu sendiri, the principles, and the comparison, for example, between the audio-lingual method and so on. And then students may use CLT emphasizes in blah, blah, blah. The teachers acts as facilitator. Students need blah, blah, blah. Jadi, mempelajari, memahami CLT, tapi belajarnya dalam bahasa Inggris. Karena fokusnya adalah ingin mengajarkan apa sih CLT itu. Sementara kalau language-driven program, language skill is the main focus. Fokusnya adalah kepada penguasaan bahasanya. For example, Bapak Ibu mau mengajarkan kepada murid kita tentang plastic waste, environmental issues misalnya. Bapak Ibu bisa memberikan topik kepada murid, lalu kemudian nanti muridnya akan berlatih, in my opinion, plastic waste is bla bla bla. Atau I agree because bla bla bla. I disagree because bla bla bla. Jadi murid belajar untuk mengungkapkan pendapatnya, berargumentasi, topiknya, kontennya di situ adalah alatnya. Jadi bisa language driven atau content driven, depends on the objectives of your teaching. Bapak Ibu mau fokus ngajarin konten ini supaya mereka paham istilah-istilahnya, atau Bapak Ibu mau fokus pada kemahiran bahasanya. Kalau misalnya kemahiran bahasanya harus dibedah lagi. Ini mau apa? Mau speaking, mau listening, mau writing, mau reading. Nah, kalau misalnya mau speaking, for example, maka buatlah argumen-argumen untuk berdebat. Misalnya, in my opinion, plastic waste is bla bla bla. Gitu. Jadi CBI itu dibagi menjadi dua. Ya, itu yang membedakan dia berbeda dengan yang lain. So, students learn and know how they use the language to learn it. Gitu. Jadi, bagaimana mempelajari mata kuliah tertentu. For example, mungkin misalnya saya mengajarkan mata kuliah bahasa Inggris di Fakultas Ilmu Komunikasi di Pancasila. Maka saya menggunakan bagaimana ketika mereka misalnya for example jadi HRD Human Resource Development Person gitu, maka mereka akan mempelajari kata-kata yang bisa digunakan ketika mereka misalnya sedang interview orang untuk melamar kerja. Nah, itu jadi kontennya. Jadinya content drivennya. Mereka akan belajar itu. Oh, ketika saya jadi HRD, saya belajar ini. Gitu. Language skill-nya dipelajari juga misalnya ketika mereka mau bertanya, misalnya bagaimana pendapat tentang ini. Jadi, tergantung apa yang mau diajarkan. Bukan fokus kepada kita khusus belajar bahasa Inggrisnya kalau kita content driven. Tapi kalau kita content language driven, kita fokus kepada bahasa-bahasa apa saja sih yang akan digunakan kalau nanti dia menjalankan profesi tertentu atau berada dalam situasi konteks tertentu. Itu adalah core-nya. Dan overall, the presenters unfortunately spend too much time explaining theoretical background. And I think not all of them was necessary. So if the purpose was to show how a particular topic can be used in CBI, maybe the presenters should have focused more on explaining the teaching plan, how the lesson would be conducted, and it was not necessary at all to spend more than 15 minutes, I guess, explaining basic concepts. Tadi seperti misalnya privacy adalah, security adalah, email adalah, we're all postgraduate students. So those definition, I think, do not need to be explained in such detail. Tadi banyak sekali menghabiskan waktu lama, 15 menit lebih hanya untuk menjelaskan definisi-definisi yang menurut saya tidak perlu karena bukan sedang micro teaching. Tadi sedang menjelaskan kepada kita as a peer di kelas. Saya rasa mahasiswa S2 nggak perlu dijelaskan email adalah, security adalah, privacy adalah. Cukup dijelaskan adalah, fokusnya adalah how was the teaching plan? How was the lesson is going to be conducted? gitu. So as I have mentioned several times, plenty of times, I think, what I assess from you guys is your understanding of the teaching method using media, using ICT. In this case, CBI. So what the concept and how it can be applied, and of course, the teaching practice, the actual teaching practice. And unfortunately, the most important part, the micro teaching, was placed at the very end of the presentation and delivered very briefly. So it's just like an additional supplement. It also felt very rushed, so I could hardly assess it properly. The one who came closest to the proper micro teaching, I think it's Miss Putri Andini. Even that, your presentation still felt very rushed as you're trying to finish everything because the limited of time. So ideally, the micro teaching should be delivered calmly and given the largest portion of the presentation. Each presenter should have around 15 minutes for teaching practice, while the explanation of the theory can be limited only to 3 or 5 minutes. Jadi menurut saya, justru yang micro teachingnya bukan jadi suplemen belakangan diselipin kayak ada yang ketinggalan barang di ketika belanja. Harusnya itu menjadi poin terbesar karena itu yang saya nilai. And also, the micro teaching should begin by clearly stating the target learner level. Jadi saya bisa menilai, oh ini tepat levelnya untuk segini, ngajarnya begini. Tadi tidak ada yang memberitahu saya level dari muridnya itu levelnya di mana. And after grading the students, you should explain the learning objectives. Murid kita harus tahu tujuan dia belajar itu apa. Seperti saya menjelaskan kepada Bapak Ibu setiap kali awal pertemuan kuliah, tujuan kita belajar itu apa. Tell the students what skills is going to be trained. Kita mau melatih apa hari ini. And what are expected from them to achieve by the end of the lesson. Dan diharapkan mereka tuh ngapain. So, jangan hanya langsung tadi give the material directly and then immediately give a task. Please try imagine if you're teaching that way, real to your students, would this kind of teaching flow work for actual learners? We all could answer the questions. Tadi semuanya bisa jawab dengan benar. Of course, we are postgraduate students. We have possessed some general knowledge to understand the answers to answers correctly. But real students may not be able to follow the lesson if the teaching stages are not properly prepared and delivered. Itu mungkin. Dan yang terakhir tadi, before the presentation, I think all of you should have conducted a Zoom simulation together. You need to check whether your video could be played properly, whether the audio was clear, and whether there are any technical problems that needed to be fixed. So the technical trials should not be done this time during the actual class because it clearly wasted valuable presentation time. So it's all for me. Mungkin itu saja dari saya, Bapak Ibu. Saya sudah buru-buru juga ngomongnya kayak tadi Bapak Ibu proyek micro teaching, nggak pakai nafas. Mungkin itu. Kita ada berapa grup lagi? How many groups are left? Apa ini grup terakhir? Atau minggu depan, maksudnya yang nggak libur, apa masih ada yang harus presentasi lagi?
Satu lagi, Miss.
Oke, satu lagi. Kayaknya minggu depan libur ya, Bapak Ibu. Jadi, actually you have plenty of time, kayaknya, untuk presentasi menyiapkan. Semoga nanti grup terakhir much better, jauh lebih baik lagi dengan masukan ini. Ya, mungkin itu saja Bapak Ibu, karena waktunya tinggal 1 menit dan I have to jump to another class. Bapak Ibu juga harus bersiap untuk mata kuliah berikutnya. Thank you very much for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk semuanya. Stay healthy.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
Thank you,
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Miss.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, guys.